My name is Paul Flather, as you'll see from the programme in front of you, this lovely programme. And it really is my privilege to join in the warm welcome to all of you here for this very special memorial celebration of Alan's life. And it really is a celebration. However sad we feel, we're here to celebrate a very full life. And we're very grateful to Balliol. Thank you, Sudhir. It's very much Alan's intellectual and spiritual home, as you described so well. And it's good to be in the hall because so much is forged over food, the sharing of food, and I dare say a spot of good wine, which Alan loved too. Now, each speaker today has been invited to open a window on a different aspect of Alan's life to remind us of the significant range of his work and his activities. And frankly, we might easily have tripled, quadrupled that lineup, given how wide his influence and activities involvements are. For I think that what we're all agreed upon is that Alan was no mere philosopher. Indeed, arguably, his philosophy thrived on being interactive, in crossing boundaries. And here I'm not just thinking of the English Channel, though Alan did very often cross that intellectually, culturally, gastronomically, and actually. No, his approach was multidisciplinary, as we heard. He believed strongly in that, multi-faith, multicultural, multidimensional, always seeking to bridge the academy with the public. But perhaps, and this is my view, but I hope you share it, what mattered most to Alan was people, their individuality, their identity, their self, yes, situated in ideas, but equally in experiences, in culture, in faith, a master intellectual with that warm personal touch which helped us to understand our own complexities better, warts and all. I have spoken before about Alan's wide impact on me personally, but just one story. I arrived at Balliol riven with excitement and anticipation, having gone through, no doubt, a lengthy discussion amongst the tutors about whether or not he should be here. But I came also caught between two cultures, and in part rejected by both of them at a time when being mixed race was, well, a bit of a problem, really. But Alan gave me self-belief, he gave me confidence to examine my life. And some years later, I began to describe myself with pride as an Indo-Saxon. And the seeds were sown by Alan. He gave me confidence to wear cozy, roomy sweaters. That's why I'm boiling hot. But in his honor, I just had to do it for you. I had to do it for Alan. Semicolon. I don't think I ever quite got the hang of punctuating, bracket, and parsing, close bracket, as I spoke, exclamation mark, question mark, paragraph, full stop. I never quite mastered that, but I was in awe of him. Today, you're going to hear about Alan as a teacher, a colleague, a public and engaged philosopher, a defender of liberal Jewish heritage, an intrepid explorer of Jewish identity, and an interfaith seeker. I'm charged with saying a word about Alan, I guess, as an academic activist, promoting the freedom to think. He helped found the Jan Hus Educational Trust, and with Catherine, the French Jan Hus, and worked with a number of us to give underground lectures and seminars in Prague in the 1980s, during the communist regime. The Velvet Philosophers, so-called. Alan brought in some magic of his renowned Kant seminar, which Sudhir referred to. He brought that to Czechia, and he left deep marks, as has been documented in the evolution of Czech philosophy post-1989. Now, many of us had brushes with the secret police, the boys from Bartolomewska ulica, as they were dubbed. Jokes were a very powerful safety valve in those days. So why did those STB secret police go around in threes? One to do the searching of the rooms, one to read the books on the shelves, and the other to keep an eye on his two fellow intellectuals. After one brush, Alan was put on the index of undesirables. Yes, there were anxieties and fears involved in this work, most of all, of course, for the dissidents that one worked with. But personal risk was never at the front of Alan's mind. It was, as he wrote, within the responsibility of being an intellectual. So they referred to it. It was not about politics as such, but about something much more important: protecting the academy, pursuing freedom of thought. I want to pause. I open a bracket here. Someone else today needs to mark those lessons from Alan. Close brackets. Michael? Rightly, in due course, he was given a medal by the Czech government for his work, and Katrine as well. Now, I remember as angry students, I think there are some colleagues of mine who are fellow angry students here today. We were all wrapped up in our precious ideals, and we tended not to see Alan as a radical. And yet, in his unassuming, compassionate, humble, loving way, as you've heard, there he was, always breaking the boundaries. And he, for one, did leave enduring marks in places like Balliol, in philosophy, in ideas and philosophy, but most of all in people like us. And we know this from this marvellous Festschrift, which was put together for Alan's 85th birthday, a marvellous event we had actually in this hall, memorably. And I'm actually resolved with the fellow editors to make sure that this now goes online so we can all have access to the many wonderful essays in it. So today, the plan is that we're going to let the event flow. You have the programme, and there will be wonderful music between each address, performed by those with strong personal connections to Alan, just to give us moments for reflection. The first piece was actually played by a former student who invited himself because he wanted to remember and pay homage to Alan. So that was thanks to Mr. Thomas. At the end, everyone is invited to join Katrine and the family for a reception in the master's lodgings. Just follow the crowd if you don't know the way. And on the way in, there will be photographs on display drawn from Alan's life. So thank you very much.